Hey, this is Arsene from Rambling Rican, back with... what part am I in? 9! Yes! I'm in part 9! The first one was the trip to Japan. Second one was from the airport area to Machida, which was clear across the city. Third was arriving at Sasuke and all of that was entailed. 4, 5, and 6 were all of day 1 of Sasuke. 7 and 8 were all of day 2, which was the end of the first stage, the Nagano ceremony, the blip of the second stage, and the third stage, and raining. And so after we got back, it wasn't actually all that late, but we were exhausted, and of course we were rained on. So actually had a fantastic night's sleep, and yay, I'll still plug the Toyoko Inn in Machida. Yeah, I would definitely do that again if I ever had the opportunity. I have no idea if I'll ever have an opportunity, but still, Toyoko Inn, great, yay. So following morning, free breakfast. Actually, we're able to just relax, eat breakfast, and they actually have breakfast for a fairly long time. So I think it was like 10 or 11 o'clock, which is great because some places are like 9. And so able to sleep in, and and then packed up, make sure that we had everything set up and ready to go. So we had a couple people because it was competitor weekend, and Toyoko was a great place to stay, especially for people from out of town. So people like Tatsuya Tada. For anybody that follows my blog, he's a former competitor from, I think it was 17 and 18. 17 and 18. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, definitely 17. And oh god, I wanted to compete again, but that's an entirely separate subject. So either way, him and his girlfriend, they were fantastic. Everybody kind of figured this may be the last time they see me, and I wanted to make sure that I had group photos, because I actually noticed I don't take a lot of group photos, which is, I guess, kind of weird. I don't know, I'm so used to taking photos of people and not myself, so it was kind of weird. But I figured this may be the last time I'd be there, so actually took photos. It was awesome. We had a rough trip over there, just physically and health-wise. I was probably one of the worst times. And so surrounding myself with friends was just fantastic. And I liked how I did this trip this time around. Didn't schedule too much, and that turned out to be perfect. So yeah, taking a bunch of goofy photos, and story with that ice cream. But yeah, so it was actually pretty cool, and again, we had plenty of time to do everything. Learning from last year, knowing what trains to take, we took the romance car back to Shinjuku, and in fact, that's where we said bye to Tara, because I think he ended up taking the Shinkansen home from that point. But either way, and we ended up going to another train to go further north. Not that far north. It was I think one major train station over, or at least 2. I don't know. So it wasn't that far. I would actually strongly recommend Ikebukuro. Ikebukuro is huge. It's not as huge as Shinjuku, because Shinjuku is basically the mecca of all the trains. So it's sort of, I guess, for anybody from the United States, it's sort of like a Grand Central Station. So we went from there up to the next Grand Central Station, because that place was ginormous. I found out that I found out when I arrived in Japan, when I was getting my tickets for the train back to the airport. That is the first stop. I'm like, yes, I don't have to take an extra train to get back to the airport. So that was score. I had no idea. That was not at all planned. It wasn't until I got to Japan that I realized that I can take it directly from there. And but yeah, that place is huge. Ikebukuro has like a whole bunch of restaurants, there's like internal malls in that place. I mean, that place is huge. I mean, I've seen it in anime and stuff like that, but I never really realized that it's its own thing. So, and a lot of people go there, like, even because I follow a lot of people on YouTube and Japan vlogs and stuff like that, and Ikebukuro is his own place. And what's fantastic about it is that because just about every train station either arrives there, starts there, ends there, whatever. It just, you can be just about anywhere in Tokyo right from that train station. And I'm sure Shinjuku has those, other places to go further out, but you're only like a couple train stations off. So it's not that far at all. And that's such a convenient location. Now I know why so many people don't have cars, because you can just take their trains like anywhere. Which is good, because you're not going to be able to drive anywhere over there because just the traffic's just horrendous. And so, learning from the last time I was there, I ended up booking a hotel like a block from that train station. And oh my God, I am so happy. Luckily, it wasn't raining. It rained overnight, obviously, and it rained in the morning. But by the time we left, the rain had stopped, which was fantastic. And so by the time we got there, because remember, we were traveling from Machida all the way over to Ikebukuro in the city. That was probably, 45 minutes-ish, something like that, by the time we ended up switching trains. And so it was cool. We got there around lunch-ish. Yeah, lunchish, something like that. We ended up, dropping all of our stuff at the hotel. I'm gonna do a room tour the following day. I actually recorded that. I'll do that for the next video. That's its own thing. And so we just dropped all of our stuff there and headed over and got something to eat, because we had a few hours until we met up with everybody else. Because remember, this is a work day for everybody else. So Jean had to go to work. A lot of the competitors had to go to work. And so we got a few hours in the afternoon. You know what? Hey, Yube, you want to go out to Akihabara? Sure! Because I'd never been there. And, I've seen it in anime, and I've seen it in pop culture videos, and there's always it's sort of like the geek mecca. You have video games and figures and anime and just everything that goes with that, and that's very much, I can't say exactly my culture, but I love that stuff. And so I got over there. First of all, it's a lot smaller than I gave it credit for, because it always seems so huge, like blocks and blocks of this stuff. It really isn't. It's sort of like its own little section, and I don't know what I expected. So whenever you see videos of the same 2 to 3 blocks, it really is the same 2 to 3 blocks. And I think because a lot of it is vertical. Now, I say vertical in quotes because, oh my God, those buildings are tiny. We had some serious trouble going up and down those steps. I mean, you had narrow hallways, and some places look like, oh wait, that's an actual building? Ooh, how do you get in there? Okay, we'll go in there. Oh, somebody's trying to go down the steps. Okay, yeah, and yeah, I know I'm bigger and whatever, but still, when you have Japanese dudes walking sideways down the steps because they're trying to get through themselves, it's pretty bad. And you had really, really short ceilings too in some places, and then wall to wall, literally to ceiling, floor to ceiling, figures and stuff like that. Oh my God, they were expensive. Holy Moses. You had stuff that was in the thousands of dollars, and not thousands of yen, because they were in the hundreds of thousands of yen, thousands of dollars and euros. It was for a figure is $6,000? Are you kidding me? So, and then you had, some discount things and whatever. And of course, most of it was in Japanese, obviously, hello, here in Japan. And so I spent the entire time, I couldn't record inside anywhere because you had those were the only English text anywhere in there. You had a whole bunch of Japanese, and then no photos, no video. Damn. How do people take, I guess, they have special permission and stuff, but it's are you kidding me? And so even some places that were quote unquote discount were ugh. So I saw a few things in there. I spent the entire time, sort of price comparison, and they were all around the same thing. And I kept thinking, I can get these on Amazon. That's what I did. So I have like I think only a couple, and I've never had gotten like figurines and stuff before. So I'm like, okay, in Japan when I saw them actually pretty good. Let me see. And I ordered them. Yep, they're. It was funny because they're all imported from Japan. So, but it was, and got it at the same price, if not cheaper. And no, this is not a sponsored video. That is an affiliated link, but still, it was just, I wasn't very surprised because I thought that I would be in my element there, and I was totally a fish out of water. It was very weird. And I don't know if it had nothing to do with age, because I saw a lot of people that were actually older than I was, because there were even some things there that were from my generation, a lot of older stuff as well. In fact, some stuff I'm thinking, have you been trying to sell this figure for 30 years? Because some of them look like that. And of course you had the latest and greatest, and oh my god, so many idol things. Oy. So I was trying to look for my own stuff, and I didn't really find any. Again, because I couldn't take any videos. This was the only video that I was able to take, and I did it quickly. And even then, it's like, Donna, are you sure you're supposed to do that? And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. Screw it. Nobody said anything, and I'm like, okay, this is it, because that was like just on the outskirts of Akihabara, and it was weird. Just the experience was weird. I've never felt like such a fish out of water ever than going in there, and here I am thinking that it was going to be the place that I was, looking forward to. I guess I got that out of my system, so I don't know if what other people would feel like, but it's not quite what it was cracked up to be. And I'm not into like maid cafes or anything like that. I don't think anybody can pay me to survive one of those things. So either way, ended up getting a text going, where are you guys? I'm like, we're in Akihabara. I was like, we need to pull up the time. We were supposed to meet at this time. Can we meet at that time? And I'm looking at the clock going, it's 5 o'clock in Tokyo on a Monday. I don't care where you are in the world, 5 o'clock on a Monday, that's rush hour. So it was so weird. Like out of nowhere, I don't even know how to explain it. Like out of nowhere, I started to notice that the population of Akihabara was rapidly increasing. And then it was like a light bulb going, oh, rush hour in Tokyo. Oh my god. So Yube grabbed me, I grabbed Don, and we're like trying to trek through people going, we gotta get on this train, we gotta get on this train, we gotta get on this train. So we're hauling butt clear across the city, because, and of course standing only, but it was not like, like the pressed in bodies yet. We were very lucky. So we ended up going back past Ikebukuro. I forget which town it was. Dang it. But either way, we met up with our friends to eat ramen at a place called Narita's. And Narita's should sound at least familiar for the geeks that follow all the minutiae of Sasuke. This was one of the competitors in Sasuke 32. Should have been 32. 31. 32. I think it was 32. Oh my god, they all mix in my head. And I was there the last couple of years, so yeah, I think that was... Yeah, it was 32! Oh my god, I'd be terrible at Sasuke Jeopardy. So, either way, it was cool because what I expected, like, good ramen to taste like, I didn't get the last time I was there. And I didn't even get that even with the noodles that were given to me during lunch. This is what I expected. That ramen was awesome. And thanks again to my friends, because I don't know how to explain it. First of all, the place is really, really tiny. And so it's sort of like a row of seats right up against the bar area. And on the other side of the bar is where they make the ramen. So it's a really, really tiny shop. And so I felt bad because we just kind of like, it was like a group of 10 of us just like moved over. A couple people were coming from work. Others were finally, like, that was when I finally saw Perry, because I think he was in the hospital. And so it was just, and yeah, in fact, yeah, I think he was coming from the hospital again. So it was funny because you had to order through, I guess, like a vending machine. So it had like a wall of, all the different types of things that they do. So you pick the broth, then you pick the type of noodles, then you pick the stuff that you want to put in the inside, and all this extra stuff, and all of it was in Japanese. And I'm like, oh boy. And so like, okay, so I kept being asked questions. Okay, what type is it? What kind of broth? Do you want pork? Do you want miso? Do you want? I'm like, what is regular? I think that's exactly what I said. So they're like, okay, you're not allergic to anything. He's like, no. Is he willing to try it? Okay, fine. So I plugged it in. So you hit the buttons to whatever it is that you want, if you want extra of this, yada, yada, yada. And then it comes up with a ticket, and then you give them a ticket. And of course, voila, it has everything that you ordered exactly written down so they won't screw it up. So I think it's perfect that way. It's just, I wish it was in English. And even then, probably with my indecision and me not knowing what the heck I'm doing. Because again, it works like a vending machine. So you put in your money and it pays for it. It's actually really cool. So that way you already paid for what it is that you're getting rather than, dealing. And of course, there's no tip in Japan. So it was just so weird. So I was just, I sit down. I felt bad because Don couldn't go. Don at that point, his body just after Akihabara, and then of course after the entire weekend, oh god, that weekend was terrible for him. I felt so bad. So he ended up just staying at the hotel, and we ended up going doing that. And it was fun because again, we don't take a lot of group photos. We took a bunch of group photos. So you used to see Perry with his crutches and whatever, and then so it was a little bittersweet because we had to say goodbye to a couple people, and again, I'm not sure if I'll ever be back again, so it was bittersweet. So we did that, and so because we had so many people there, we just kind of like ate our stuff and got out, because they have to close up, that sort of thing. And of course, they actually are running a business, so we're not like trying to shoo people away. So the group that was left for us, we ended up going back to my place because a few of us were staying in the same area, and that was again learning from the last time to try to stay as centralized as possible. So even though we didn't stay in the same hotel, we stayed in the same area. And because my hotel, the way they do breakfast is actually, it's the Denny's. Yeah, the Denny's. It's actually really cool, and I'll explain the whole thing on the next video. So yeah, don't judge it. It's actually really good. Oh, a lot better than the Denny's in the United States. Trust me. So we ended up, I wanted to see, how Don was doing, and he was actually soaking in that nice tub. And so he's like, just go eat. It's fine. And I'm like, but I already ate. It's like, they're downstairs going to be eating, dessert or whatever. Just go downstairs. So he stayed upstairs, and we ended up getting and most people got like coffee and stuff like that, but I'm allergic to caffeine. Yeah, I know, it's a disgrace. So I ended up just getting ice cream, which was good because I guess I came out like my sister, where if you have something like rich or savory or strong, you need something to kind of like counterbalance that. I don't eat a lot of sweet, so that was like as most sweet I can ever get, because just again, I can't eat sugar or caffeine. Yeah, I know. But anyway, so yeah. So that was cool. I actually had some time to actually just talk to each other face to face. I loved how the booths were set up. And so yeah, that was the end of that Monday. I forget what day it was. Yeah, May 30th, I think it was. So yeah, of course, everybody going back to work. Perry was leaving the following day. Yube was leaving the following day. I wasn't expected to see Gene because he was going to be working all day. And that was the last time I was going to see my friend Carol, which was bittersweet, and oh my god. And then Kathy at least was like the only one of our little group that was still going to be hanging around for that extra day. She was actually going to be there a little bit longer, and so that was awesome. But it was cool. I'm happy that we did that, and again, it offsetted a lot of the chaos that was going on around us to be with friends. and I really appreciative that I was able to go back and have, I guess, a better experience. It's hard to explain because, you know, chaos wise and tournament wise, it was pretty bad, but not having to run around chasing people and whatever and just enjoying each other's company, like, I had a ball. It was great. You know, we had just, it was wonderful. And for the competitors, spending time with competitors that I was really, really close to, and that was awesome. I know my situation will be unique, and I'm eternally thankful, and I don't care if I sound like a broken record, but none of that would have been possible had it not been for you guys, and so I'll be eternally thankful for that. So yeah, before I start crying again, next video should be, I'll do the room tour. That would have been that Tuesday, which was my last full day in Japan, and actually got to see Grace and Ryosuke from Texan in Tokyo, and I think I have a couple other little things in between. But yeah, that'll be the last one, and of course, you know, my trip back to the United States, which wasn't all that, you know, I didn't take a lot of videos of that, so I'll probably have like one more video depending on how long it is, at worst two, that'll be the end of that series. Yay! And I'll do another video again, like I mentioned before, on the tips and tricks of traveling to Japan, because I learned a lot. So either way, thank you for listening, and until the next video, take care.